Welcome everyone to High Soup Fantasy Football. Week 1 was crazy. I'm talking about big games, people putting up big games, no names. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over our overachievers for the week. An overachiever is not a guy that, everyone drafted because we knew that he was going to be the man. You're drafting, round 1, 2, 3, 4. The overachievers are the guys that were on the waiver wires and went slap off. We're going to go with quarterbacks first, man. The guy I want to talk about is Mr. Mac Jones over there in New England. Nobody expected Mac Jones to throw up the numbers he did this week. Mac Jones was the number 2 quarterback fantasy scoring in week 1. Mac Jones? It's crazy. Crazy what's going on out here. This man threw for 316 yards and 3 touchdowns. Efficient game. All of his receivers were on the waiver wire. And these guys were going off as well. I try to tell people all the time, man, it's any given Sunday. Anybody can go off at any time. It's all about playing matchups. Nobody knew Mac Jones was going to be the number 2 QB. Another guy we want to come off the board, and it hurts me deep. Of course it does, man. I'm a Bear fan. But we had to deal with Aaron Rodgers, man, for a decade of coming through and just kicking our butt, man. I'm thinking, okay, no more Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay is going to come into the Soldier Field and get their butts plastered. I'm just knowing it. We got the new offensive look. Justin Fields coming into another year look at Justin Fields was looking good. He was looking good. But we got some work to do, man. I didn't expect what happened to happen, man. That guy Jordan Love diced us up like the black Aaron Rodgers. This guy came out there and looked efficient. He was putting the ball where it needed to be. I'm talking about accurate. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm thinking like, is it Superman? Is it Aaron 2.0? I got to deal with this guy for the next decade. Jordan Love throws up 245 yards in the air, 3 TDs on our head. Yeah, man. I had to sit there and watch it. It was painful. It was painful. But, the guy's been on the shelf for 3 years sitting down with a genius, Aaron Rodgers. What else should I expect him, I'm a Bears fan, man. We love to lose. What can I say? Another guy on my list I want to talk about is going to be Tua. I was talking about Tua in all my drafts. Why was I talking about Tua? Because he's over there with a track meet. Mostert, 22 miles per hour. Tyreek Hill, 22 miles per hour. Jalen Waddle, 22 miles per hour. All this guy got to do is throw a slant, and they going to take it to the house. 5-yard out, take it to the house. 10-yard stop and go, take it to the house. But what was crazy was he was hitting Tyreek on posts, slants, dig routes, and Tyreek was taking that thing where it needed to go. Hey, I said it. You heard it here first. Your boy Tua threw for 466 yards and 3 TDs. He was out of his mind. Most yards thrown in week 1 in NFL history. A guy that you guys didn't even draft, or if you did, he was on your bench. Nobody started Tua over Lamar Jackson, right? Nobody started Tua over Justin Fields this week. Nobody started Tua over Jalen Hurts. Come on, stop playing. The guy was on 60 to 70% of y'all benches. Unless y'all went in your draft, you must have got your whole team full, and then went and got a quarterback late. Then Tua might have been starting. But yeah, man, Tua did his thing, y'all. I love to see it. We're going to go into running backs. Running backs that overachieved this week in week 1. That guy, Tyler Algier. Oh my goodness. Nobody expected it. Everybody's thinking Bijan is going to get 80%. Tyler might get 20%. Tyler got more carries than Bijan. Tyler Algier went off for 15 carries, 75 yards, 2 TDs, 3 receptions, 19 yards. The guy had 24 points. He scored more than Bijan. Who expected that? He's on the waiver wire right now. I got 23 leagues. I just went in. He's on 50% of my leagues waiver wire right now. I'm going to get him. If I can get him, man, it's a blessing, because I don't see this changing. The way they use Bijan and the way they use Algier, they can both have enough carries and enough touches to yield top 10 performances. They both was in the top 10 this week. And they had less plays than a regular game. They had like 15 less plays because of game script. So on an average game, these guys are going to get more touches. And I just can't wait to see what this offense has to give. Tyler Algier is my guy coming off the waiver wire. If y'all want him, go get him. Number 2 running back, and nobody saw this coming, Kyren Williams. Now, my boy Field Yates seen it coming. I heard him earlier in the season, said, I'm out on Akers. I'm out. He didn't want Akers. I was in on Akers. I thought he was going to be the man. That man had 22 carries for 29 yards. That man averaged 1.2 yards a carry. Yeah, he was awful, absolutely awful. And I don't see anything changing. Kyren Williams comes in with 15 carries, 52 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was number 8 overall in fantasy scoring for a running back. He's on every waiver wire there is. He might be owned in 3% of fantasy leagues right now. Who knew this was going to happen? Nobody knew it. Go get Kyren Williams. Gotta love it. He was the number 2 overachiever for me this week. Another guy who overachieved. But I mean, in my eyes, it wasn't really a super overachievement because I knew he was going to do it. Aaron Jones, number 1 running back this week. This guy put up huge numbers and went out of the game in the third quarter. Number 1 in fantasy scoring and went out the game in the third quarter with a hamstring injury. Good thing about that hamstring injury is he was stretching on the side. They saw him running on the side. He jogged off the field. It's not going to be something serious. It's not a get on the cart situation or go to the locker room situation. He could have went back in the game. Coach said he could have went back in the game. He felt like he could have went back in the game. They were beating the brakes off my Bears, so didn't even need to go back in the game. So that is good news for Aaron Jones. But number 1 running back for this week. This man had 9 carries for 41 yards, a touchdown, 2 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown. He went nuts. So let's talk about receivers right now. Let's talk about receivers, overachieving receivers. Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers was the number 3 receiver this week. Jacoby went off for 9 receptions and 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's going to be a beast over there in Las Vegas. I see big things happening for him in that offense, especially next to Devontae Adams, who's going to be drawing a lot of double coverage. I love to see it. 29 points. Man, Jacoby Myers. He might still be on your waiver wire. If he is, go get him. Another guy I like to talk about is Puka Nacua. Let's talk about this receiver who nobody has on their rosters. He's on the waiver wire in 99% of fantasy leagues. Puka goes off for 15 targets with the LA Rams. No cup. Go get Puka. This man had 119 yards, 10 receptions. Target monster. Was only one more receiver that had 15 targets. That was Tyreek Hill. Tutu Atwell also had 119 yards receiving over there. Go get one of those receivers. They're both out there on your waiver wires. Puka Nacua, 21 points in standard scoring. Another receiver I think you guys should go get. And this man was not just a receiver. He was running the ball. He was returning the ball. He's in New Orleans. His name is Rashid Shaheed. Rashid had 5 receptions, 89 yards, 1 touchdown, 116 return yards, and 2 carries for 11 yards. They were giving him the rock. No Kamara right now. They got to find some way to score that in that offense. Chris Olave had a great day. Derek Carr had a great day. He's going to be passing that rock. Michael Thomas had a good day. I see Derek Carr as a sleeper this year after week 1 of what I saw. If you need a receiver and somebody got hurt, there's a lot of receivers got hurt this week. Rashid Shaheed, he's on waiver wires everywhere. Overachieving tight ends, we're going to go with Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry had 5 receptions, 56 yards, a touchdown. He was the number 1 tight end on the board for week 1. Also, Hayden Hurst. I like Hayden Hurst even better than I do Hunter Henry, and this is the reason why. There's a lot of weapons over there in New England, and Mac Jones showed us that. But in Carolina, there's not a lot of receivers. Got DJ Shark hurt. Thielen had a subpar game with 2 receptions. Hayden Hurst is going to be a great check down for a rookie quarterback in Young. What I think is Hayden Hurst is going to carry this momentum for the rest of the season and could end up being a top tight end this year. And that's just because of his situation. I'm not saying he's the best athlete on the field. What I'm saying is, in his situation for tight end, Hayden Hurst is going to be that man this year. You heard it from Soup first. We'll talk about it later.